As technology becomes a bigger part of our everyday lives, people with mild to moderate dementia may miss out on its benefits because it can be frustrating to use. Research shows usability issues are a barrier to adoption. Usability testing can identify barriers and improvements to user experience. Unfortunately, usability testing often does not include people with dementia independent of caregivers, meaning we may be missing out on direct feedback that could help identify key usability issues. When COVID required us to shift our in-person usability study to remote, we found a literature gap in adapting existing usability methods for people with dementia independent of caregivers in remote summative usability studies. To accommodate slow, unstable internet connections or those who felt anxious changing their computer, we gave participants 3 methods to choose from. In a typical remote method, the system is interacted with on the participant's computer while the researcher observes participant actions. In the remote access method, the participant takes remote control of the researcher's computer, who observes the participant as they control the researcher's computer. In the Modified Think Aloud, the participant views the researcher's computer and tells the researcher what to do. This talk covers our findings for planning, conducting, and evaluating remote summative usability studies involving people with early-stage dementia independent of caregivers. First, logistics when planning. Choose the web conferencing tool that is the most familiar to your participant. Be aware of overlapping windows which may not be visible to you but can cause difficulty to participants. Refine tasks for comprehension to get the scenario, format, and wording right. Double space your tasks in a larger font and include word definitions. Reading tasks aloud can help with comprehension. While making the first task a practice task is a best practice for usability tests, it's especially critical when involving people with dementia. Spend extra time clarifying the study process. Second, approaches when conducting usability sessions. If the participant chooses either the remote access method or the Modified Think Aloud, prepare a neutral computer environment with minimal visual clutter in advance. We found that breaks were critical for any period longer than 30 minutes, as mental fatigue can impact their ability to concentrate, problem solve, improvise, and recover from unexpected situations. Minimize mental fatigue by letting them choose how long their breaks should be and give them the option to pause or move on to another task. Support the agency of people with dementia by providing varying levels of support and adapting your techniques as needed. Always explain what you're doing and why, and allot time to take in information and ask questions. Ask permission before any change to the participant's system. If a change alters their setup, it's important to protect the familiarity of their system by confirming whether they want to keep that change or not. When researchers were on mute with their cameras off, some participants were concerned they'd been disconnected, so the typical practice of invisible silent observation may not be appropriate. Let your participants choose whether they want to see you or not. Watch out for verbal or nonverbal symptoms of stress. Keep it conversational rather than clinical to reduce anxiety. If participants still appear stressed, gradually reduce the total number of actions they can choose from and ask open-ended questions to encourage experimentation. Finally, considerations when evaluating study findings. Different interpretations of tasks, unexpected events, stress, anxiety can impact task completion. Mental fatigue, the conversational nature of the 2 new methods, and the variability of short-term memory between people with dementia can impact time performance. It's more important to alleviate anxiety and take breaks to reduce mental fatigue than to preserve these task and time measures. A modified system usability scale may be appropriate. Consider doing the SUS after each task and give participants the option to comment. With careful planning and flexibility, remote summative usability testing involving people with mild to moderate dementia independent of caregivers can reveal barriers and improvements to user experience based on their feedback. Thank you.